Okay, you guys, now we'll shortly going to our featured speaker, who's a wonderful person, and the wonderful person who's going to introduce her. This guy, his name is Jamie Wilson. He's talented, he's gifted, he's capable, he's warm, he's loving, he's long on people skills and leadership ability. He's an Emerald Director in our team. So, Jamie Wilson, take it away.
Well, just let me say, with the speakers we've already had, these three speakers are phenomenal. This this VOC is going to be recorded and watched probably many thousands of times, because that's just phenomenal stories that we've heard already.
Very encouraging.
Very encouraging. And yet I have this amazing honor to introduce our CEO. And this girl is just amazing. I got to put my glasses back on and see my notes. I shouldn't even need them. But she, besides being a whole lot of fun, she's a big wave surfer, a black belt in karate. She's an airplane pilot, experienced hunter, and her dad told me she was a better shot than he was. A very successful investor. And by the way, Kendra, I want to get some tips from you later. And she just has grit. And it shows in everything she does with this company and everything she does in life. Kendra, Bob tells us lots of stories about you and your dad. So a little heads up here. But he was telling me how you guys were talking about going hunting, bird hunting. And Bob asked if you folks had a dog for, being a bird dog, getting the birds. And you said, I'm the bird dog. So, I just love the strength that you have, Kendra. I don't want, make your head fat or anything, but you're brutally honest about yourself. You really do embrace your own faults, the things that we fall down in, and look to make all of us better. And so I just want to tell you, I just love who you are. The little bit that I know of you, I love who you are. And with that, I just want to say, welcome, Kendra.
Amen.
Oh, thank you so much, Jamie. That was such a beautiful introduction. I appreciate it. And that is true. I just this last year going duck hunting, or maybe it was dove hunting with my dad. He made me the dog again. He's still, like everybody else has their bird dog that goes out and gets the birds, and he goes, okay, ready, go. Like, don't shoot me. My goodness, it is so great to be on here with all of you. Bob, thank you so much for allowing me the honor of speaking with you this weekend. All the stories have been just incredible. I mean, what a reminder of why it is that we do what we do. I do have to take issue with you, Dwight, though. Did you call us nerds? Excuse me. No, I'm just kidding.
I was talking pre-Kendra. I'm very happy a popular, good-looking girl showed up. So thank you so much.
No, I am a proud nerd.
But I was just say, you are a nerd. I know your inner nerd connects. You are a nerd.
This is true. Oh no, we have a lot of fun here in the NeoLife family. Something that Bob was saying earlier reminded me of a conversation I heard with Warren Buffett, and it was when we were at one of his annual Berkshire Hathaway shareholder meetings. And I don't know, you may have heard this quoted, but he said something like this. He was like, okay, when I was 16 years old, I had just two things on my mind: girls and cars. And he's like, I wasn't very good with girl, so I thought about cars a lot. And I had more luck with them. And he gives this hypothetical. He's like, let's say that when I turned 16, a genie had appeared to me, and that genie said, Warren, I'm going to give you the car of your choice. It's going to be here tomorrow morning. It's going to show up at your house with a big bow on it, and it's going to be brand new. It's all yours. And so he said, I would ask the genie, what's the catch? And he said, the genie would answer, there's just one catch. This is the last car that you're ever going to get in your life. And so it has to last a lifetime. And he said, if that happened, if I got the car of my dreams, but it had to last a lifetime, I would have picked out that car. But you can imagine, like, knowing that this has to last, what would I do with it? I would read the manual about 5 times, make sure I knew everything about it. I would always keep it in the garage. If there was a little dent or a scratch, I'd have it fixed right away. I wouldn't want my car to rust. And I would just baby that car because it would have to last a lifetime. And he said that is exactly the position that we're all in if it's concerning our mind and our body. Like, we get one mind and one body, and it has to last a lifetime. And it's easy to let them ride for years. Maybe we don't take care of that mind and body today, but we know that years later, they're probably going to end up a wreck. Like Bob said, if we don't get the right maintenance. And it really stuck with me, this analogy where he tied it to, it's what you do today, right now, that determines how we're going to operate, how healthy we're going to be in 10, 20, 30 years from now. And I believe with all my heart that no matter where we are on our health journey, on our life journey, we can make a huge difference in what our future is going to look like. It doesn't matter if we have neglected that car for years, we can still make a big change and make a big difference in the trajectory of our future today. And I thank God every day that he's allowed me to be a part of just this amazing community, this family, where we can truly make a meaningful difference in the lives of people and families and communities and nations when we share what we know to be true. And there's so much power. I mean, just listening to the stories today, like hearing emails given out and resources given out, there is so much power in being just connected to a network where, if something bad does happen, if something comes up, there are so many people who we can reach out to, who we can call, who are willing to just share their experiences, their resources, who are willing to help us and love us. And I want to thank you for just being a part of this. Like, no matter what it is that the role you play here, if you're a customer, if you're a promoter, if you are whatever, just a member of the community, you just want to be in this meeting to have the community. I just want to say thank you, because it is people like you who make NeoLife what it is. Like, another word for company is really just group of people. Like, people are what make a company. And my story is a lot like Bob's, where like I didn't have a big health challenge come up where I looked for products. I've grown up on these products. And I can tell you, there are still moments every day where I am just blown away by the power of nutrition. Like, I'll show you an example in a second, but I think it's interesting. Like, sometimes I'll share with people and they say, what, I'm fit, I'm young, I'm healthy, I don't need supplements. And I'm like, exactly. Don't you want to stay that way? Like, the science doesn't lie. And so because I am a nerd, a true nerd, I wanted to prove that. So recently, I actually have one on my arm right now. To show you would not be appropriate because right here on my arm, but it's a continuous glucose monitor. I don't have blood sugar challenges, but I wanted to see like what we say about our products. Does that really happen? And how does it, like, I know if somebody has blood sugar control issues, we we talk about our shake and glycemic response controlled and how it's going to keep you within the zone, not just when you take the shake, but help you throughout the day. And I was like, okay, but what about someone like me who I don't think I have any blood sugar issues? And this is what I found. Oh wait, how do I? Let me share my screen. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. This was like a regular day, no shake, no fiber meals. I spiked like that. This is like what a healthy person looks like pretty much. And this is when I had a shake in the morning with fiber. So it was that and that. I was like, are you serious? I was blown away. And
Where the laundry to check it out.
yeah, so and then I talked to my doctor. I called her. I was like, hey, okay, this is something I just saw happen. Can you explain this to me? And I wanted it to be a third party who wasn't involved in NeoLife. She was like, oh my goodness, that's so cool. You're making your own Ozempic. And I was like, what? But that can you elaborate on that? Like, I know Ozempic's the weight loss drug. And she was like, yeah. So what happens when you give your body the right stuff like protein and fiber, you make GLP-1s, which is what they're injecting in your body with Ozempic. You make your own naturally, and that drug is actually designed to control your blood sugar better. And she's like, so we can make our own Ozempic. That's not a claim. That I'm just sharing a cool experience I had. I was like, oh my goodness, that's amazing. And it's just proof the power of these products. They really do work, whether you're going through a challenge or whether you're just healthy. They work, they make you feel amazing. Let's see. So Bob asked me to share like how about building a business with NeoLife, like especially how to grow a business. And I think where we have to start is really with what it is that you want from this, because it's not what we want as a company that matters. Like, of course, I have a huge vision for what's possible, a huge vision that people around the world would see NeoLife as a home, that when they think about like nutrition and health and a community where they can go to get the resources, the knowledge, the education, that they would think NeoLife, like that they would just in their minds, we would pop into their minds just this big, loving, embracing community. And then when they have a financial need also, and when they have passion about sharing products that have helped them, that they would think NeoLife, that they would know that we are a solution for both health and financial needs. Okay. But it really matters what it is that you want out of this. Like I don't know what you want. I know many of you. I have to say, actually, tangent. I think I saw Sigrid on this call this morning. And speaking of community, one of the big highlights for me at Impact Summit was just Steffi came up and was like, I'm going to introduce you to some people from my team that are here. And Sigrid was there, Tatum, was it Tiara and Haley? And we were standing in a circle just talking. And Sigrid just shared the experience that she had with her father. And you could just see the emotion behind it. And I want to say thank you so much for sharing that, Sigrid. It made such a big impact on me. But sorry, tangent. Anyway, so what it is that you want. And I like to think of it, what we do as what we want to do is we hope to create positive pressure in people's lives, positive pressure, meaningful pressure, and only if you want it. And I'll explain what I mean. What we do is we create pressure for people to want to get healthy, to want to do the things to get good nutrition in their bodies. We do that with education. We want to create pressure for people to want to help others, to build relationships, friendships, to build community. And in doing that, we want to replace a lot of that pressure that is negative that we all have in our lives. So we want to replace negative pressure with positive pressure. What would negative pressure be? Like confusion. Like, why don't I have more energy? Is it normal to feel exhausted all the time? Or the pressure of how am I going to afford to fix my car, or this thing that went wrong in my house, or the pressure of, my kids really want that vacation. How am I going to explain why they can't have it? I don't know if any of these ring true for you, but that's what matters. It's what matters to you, like what those pressures are in your life that you want to get rid of. That's what we want to help with. And I know a lot of times, especially in the US, the United States, there can be this like weird relationship to money, or like this uncomfortable relationship to money. And I don't know if you know what I mean, but like as soon as we start talking about it, people are like, oh my goodness, no, you're just in it for the money. And it's like, wait a second. Well, first of all, money is a tool. It is dangerous in the hands of the wrong people. Don't get me wrong. It can be so meaningless, like in the hands of some people, but in the hands of the right people, it can be a tool for doing so much good, a massive amount of good in the hands of people like we have in this community. By the way, when you share NeoLife, you should be paid for that. Like you are doing a service, and that service has value, and we want you to benefit financially because of it. And I think when I feel so good that we are putting money in the hands of good people, because I know that what they're doing with it is not only blessing their families, but it's blessing the people in their lives. Whether you want to give it back to community or your church or whatever. And like that, even to be healthy, truly healthy, to have a healthy lifestyle, it takes a certain amount of money. Like we all know that, right? Like the researchers are now saying that you can predict the health of a person based on their zip code. Because in some zip codes, like the water's worse, there's mold in the houses, there's all these things that are detrimental to health. And we want to not only help the people that can afford to be in nice houses, we want to help everybody. Because, I fundamentally believe that I've traveled around the world because of our business. And no matter what community I go to, what country I go to, what town, what city, there are talented people everywhere. Their talent is equally distributed, but opportunity isn't. And so when we talk about the business that we have here, we're talking about an opportunity for people to actually get healthy first and foremost, to have the resources to have good health for their families and loved ones. And then beyond that, most of the people that do what we do, most of the promoters the people that you heard here today, they're not doing it for the money, they're doing it for the impact because they love it, because they can't not share something that has made such an impact on their lives. And I think such a powerful verse in the Bible is it is more blessed to give than to receive. And a lot of times, like we just throw that out there and it gets overlooked. But I think it's such a powerful, I guess, law of the universe. It is more blessed to give than to receive. And when you're a part of this, and when you're able to have more than just enough money, we're able to give more than we receive. And that in itself is just the biggest blessing on earth. And so let's see. Bob, what else did you want me to share about? What direction should we go in?
I think you have great judgment and wisdom. So wherever you want to go, we're loving it, Kendra. We're enjoying it thoroughly.
Okay. Um,
I like the theme of by serving others. You said that's a service that we should be reimbursed for because we're doing a legitimate service, right? To educate them on something that's going to help them lifelong.
absolutely. Let's see.
Kendra,
Well,
Kendra,
uh-huh.
what you just shared about helping them with their health so they can have the energy to help others and love on others, I think is so powerful because I've heard it said that a man with good health has 1,000 dreams, but a man with poor health has one, and that is to get their health back. Because when we live in poverty, we don't have the resources to get our health back a lot of times. And NeoLife offers a solution from both sides, which is so powerful because once you have your health, you have the energy to go create wealth to give. And if you have money, you can buy the products. So it's kind of this interesting circle and relationship that you're talking about. I know when I didn't have my health, I didn't want anything. Like my dreams, my ambition, everything went away. And as soon as I got my health back, I all of a sudden had 1,000 dreams again. And I wanted to do things. I wanted to go places. I want to serve. I want to help. I want to build things. And in that, like you said, that money is a tool. And in the wrong hands, it can be very dangerous. Just like if you hand a 5-year-old a skill saw, they're probably going to make a mess of things. It's going to be a problem. But in a craftsman's hand, they build beautiful, beautiful structures. And so your wisdom in that area is awesome as far as wealth is such a tool that can be used to bless other people. I love where you're going with that. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Dwight. That's encouraging. Yeah, I think so. If we're looking today, I don't know where you want to be with your NeoLife business, but I know something that I guess what I shared at Impact Summit are two really important lessons that my father has always emphasized. And it's not only recently has he started saying this from stage. He used to say things like, follow your passion. And when he was on stage speaking to people, and he, with all good intent, but he said, follow your passion, do what you love. And then I was at home being like, okay, you're not saying that to me. Like, the things he was telling me was learn to love doing the things that are required for success. Like, you don't like doing it, too bad, suck it up. You better learn to love it because that's what's required. And another one is, and that doesn't mean that we're not so passionate about what we do, but there's pieces of it that we don't all love doing. There's things we have to do that without knowing the bigger picture, we're not going to love it. Like, I don't love looking at spreadsheets, but I know it's required sometimes for success. And then he would also say, have a goal that excites you. Have a goal that excites you, that is so exciting that when you wake up in the morning, you want to get after it. You want to do the things that are going to get you there and help the people that you bring into your team to think big also, because it's the combination of your goals that are going to drive you forward. It's the combination of your goals on this call, of all of our promoters around the world, that's going to be what takes the company forward. And now I shared that, but kind of zooming in, like that's big picture, right? We have to have that goal, but zooming in, what does that look like on an individual level? And sometimes, like, I see when we set a big goal for our businesses, we aim for perfection. We want to see that big, I guess, dramatic change happen overnight. And that just kills our progress because we get so discouraged. It's like, okay, I want to be a diamond next year, and I'm a senior manager right now. A big step forward. But if we aim for progress, not perfection, if we just look to get maybe even 1% better every day, that is powerful. Like, what is that? 37 times better in a year, I think, if we get 1% better every day. you all have access to people who can tell you exactly the kind of things you need to be doing to build a business. The biggest one though is just talking to people. On my Uber ride home from Impact Summit, I canceled on her 4 times thinking her car wasn't big enough. And it's very rude of me. But then I met this lady who arrived. She was so persistent. I ended up taking it and she fit all of our stuff in her car. But she just had the best personality. And I was reminded of how much I just love doing this business because she didn't know anything about what we did. I handed her a few sticks of Elevate. It was a short car ride, and she was like, I just want to be around you. I can tell what you're doing is special. Don't forget about me, she said as she was driving away. So reached out to her, like set up a call with another promoter. Not me, because these days when I meet people, I pair them with somebody that in the field that I think is going to be the perfect match. But just being on that call yesterday, we had our follow-up call, and hearing her story, it was a reminder that we don't know what someone's going through. We can't prejudge. She looked like a healthy, successful woman, and what she needed was community, and what she was just like seeking out was community. And having those discussions is like the first step. And it's the hardest part, isn't it? Who here struggles with just starting conversations with the people around us about NeoLife? No, nobody? Okay, yeah, I do too. Sometimes I'm talking and talking to someone and I hear that need come up and I'm like, oh man, they're gonna think I'm a nerd or they're gonna think I'm weird. But then when I do, it's like, oh my gosh, magic. I think the most important thing is that we can just pray every day that God will bring the right people on our paths. And all we have to do is do our best to show them what we have to offer. And if we take care of people, if we love them, if we follow up with them, magic happens. Life change happens. And I could not be more excited for the kind of life change that I see happening, not just here, but around the world. And I want to show you a photo, actually. I have a photo. I just heard about these 2 ladies yesterday. I was speaking with a guy named Sami, who's our vice president of field development in West Africa. And he told me about our new One Diamond directors. Oh, wait, am I sharing my whole screen? You saw my messy desktop, sorry. Just this one. Here we go. This is Seki and Sakura, they're sisters. And they are new One Diamond directors. They're Seki's 35 years old, the one on the right here. And they just stepped up, I believe it was last month. But their story is awesome. So they had a hair salon together in Nigeria. And somebody shared TreeNN with them, showed them the possibility, like gave them a TreeNN story, told them how great they were going to feel, eventually shared the business. And she ended up starting the business and sponsoring people. And one of the people that she sponsored became a 3 Ruby director, became like having a bob in your leg. And then that person, and she didn't have too many other legs. She was kind of became inactive, but she had a 3 Ruby under her. That person died, not because of the products at all. They just died. And all those legs now rode, and their family didn't really know about the business. They didn't care. They didn't want to do the business. Those legs rode up to Seki and her sister. And then she was like, oh my goodness, I see the potential here. I want to step up and lead this, be a resource for this team, to lead the all of these people that are on my team. And she recommitted to the business. And now she has not only developed another diamond leg, she became a diamond herself in the process. And just hearing the story of she has teams that look like this around NeoLife, or sorry, around Nigeria and Benin. And this was just in the last week were these events where she spoke. And this big room here was 90% of them are under 30. They're young people who are getting fired up. They see the opportunity. They feel the difference with Trianon and our products, and they see the opportunity that one of the messaging actually is start your business now. When you're in university, like stay in university, absolutely. But if you start your business now, when you graduate, you're going to be so far ahead of everybody else. And people were just going crazy, like cheering for Seki and her sister, seeing like the women power, the women entrepreneurs who are rising up in NeoLife. And I just wanted to share this story because it made my heart warm to see what can happen in the lives of people going from a struggling like hairdresser to now leading the stage at events like this is amazing. And I think the biggest untapped potential anywhere in the world is right here in North America. It truly is. We have the greatest country on earth. And like, I am so excited to see leaders stepping up here, leaders who want it to step up here and build so much impact into what they're doing. And I want to say thank you so much for no matter what role that you play, there's a place for you in this community. And I am just so beyond words thankful for you being here and you being a part of this. So love you all. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. God bless. And thank you, Bob, so much for just your leadership and your wisdom, your encouragement. I owe so much to the person I am today, to you, your encouragement, because it meant the world. And I remember going to your events early on, some of your team events, and you letting me go on stage and fumble around and still saying like, great job, Kendra. And I knew it wasn't a great job, but thank you, Bob, so much. You're just such a humble, strong leader, and I appreciate you.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you for your kind words, Kendra, and for being with us. Thank you for your kind words. Yeah, that was 10 years ago. So when you came here to Eugene, and so were you 13 then?
10 years ago, I was not 13, no. I'm 35 now, next month.
Okay.
Happy birthday early.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We enjoyed having you and your dad and John Miller, and it was wonderful having you. Was that the first or second year you were with the company possibly, or had you been with us 3 years at that point maybe, or?
Yes, a few years. But I think I came and visited your team before I was even in the company. Is that right?
Really? I don't know, but I remember you speaking at a 2-day event. You spoke Friday night, and all my kids were there, which I was really happy to have that. And yeah, that was wonderful. And I remember when your dad brought you to Hume Lake for the first time. Remember, there was snow and ice everywhere, and we had never met you before. And I remember after do you remember they had really nice worship? Louis had real good worship going. And I remember you started crying because it just was such a blessing to you to be in that atmosphere. I remember you commenting. It was just, and you were very warmly received. And you guys, I'll tell you something really cool about Kendra. One of a million things, of course. But when she went to Blaine's in Chihuahua to speak at an event, I don't remember if Alan told me this personally or if I heard it in a meeting, but Alan said that Kendra, and I think I remember Jessica was with you, that after dinner you went in the kitchen and did their dishes, which is very, very gracious, very gracious. We were very
I
impressed.
never got so much credit for doing dishes as I had that one time.
And it made quite an impression because Alan was telling us. And I also remember Bradley. Do you remember my son Bradley was at that event? I have a picture of all the young people on the stage, and you and Bradley were right next to each other. And he had my truck. He was taking the Johnson girls somewhere. And so you and Jessica gave me a ride back to where I was staying. So that was really nice. But anyway, Kendra, thank you so much for coming on. It's just a massive, massive blessing and honor to have you with us. And thank you for who you are. You guys, let's give her a huge hand, can we?
Yes. Thank you, Lord. Thank you,
We're
Kendra.
so,
God
so
bless
blessed,
you.
so blessed to have Kendra with us. And, you know, you guys know what nepotism is. I think Kendra experiences none of that. Like sometimes people will resent offspring of an owner or something for having various wonderful leadership positions and so on. Kendra doesn't get that. I don't hear that anywhere because she is like her dad. They're both kind and gracious and humble. So, you know, not every company can say that about their leaders, but we can wholeheartedly just from our hearts, like I say, love Kendra and her dad. I don't know her mom as well, but I did get to speak to her mom once after a rally, and she shared that humble graciousness. I was a little bit intimidated. I was in the back, and she's we were having a nice conversation, but her mom was that way too. So you guys, let's give that family, let's give gratitude to that family for great character and leadership they share with us and steer the company. And you guys, I want to emphasize too, they talk about community a lot, and I'm more of a loner type. I don't need to be around a lot of people, and so that community thing it didn't resonate a huge amount with me. But I talk with Barbara lots of times after an event, and we always talk about, man, there's so many nice people at Louis' event, or so many nice people at the Wisdom Builder retreat or at the convention. So it is a real thing. The community is amazing. And I want to point out that Claudia is not in our team and Dwight is not in our team.
Yeah.
Look how kind they are and the resources and value they bring to us. And I would have to characterize both Claudia and Dwight as kind and wise and loving and encouraging. I've known Dwight a lot longer than Claudia. I was just fortunate to get to know Claudia and Jesus recently, but so warm and kind and helpful and giving, humble, and Dwight, such an encourager to me. So you guys, the community is a real thing in this. And Kendra, is it like that since you've traveled so much? Is it like that in almost all our countries? That it's not just here in the US, but there is that community family feeling and even across team and stuff. Is that common in other countries too?
Absolutely, it is. It is amazing. And in several parts of or South Africa, for instance, we were there during the apartheid, and people were amazed that this was the one place that you'd come into a room and you'd see zero separation between white people and black people.
Wow. wow. I remember your dad told us that. I won't go too long on this because we need to do recognition and wrap up. But I remember your dad told me that one place they had to always go down and get government permit because there was white people and black people in the same room. And isn't there a large Indian population or Lebanese also there? Because anyway, so they would get this special permit and then they would hold the meeting. You got black people and white people together, and they did it over and over and over and over. And so finally, these government guys, they said, we're going to go see what's happening at that meeting ourselves, go observe. So they see this black guy, and he's pulling out of the audience his new senior manager, who's white, and his new director, who's white. And they're up on the stage, and they're hugging each other, and the government officials are going, what? And then there would be some white guy on there, and he brings up his new Black Emerald director, and just the warmth. And they were just blown away. And if I remember right, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but your dad told me that, if I remember correctly, that they said, okay, you guys don't have to keep coming and getting this permit because they were so blown away at the love in the room. Do you remember anything like that, Kendra, that story?
Yeah, I remember the story. You tell it well.
Okay. So you guys look at the warmth, and we see that at convention too. So what a massive blessing, you guys, that we're in this company. We have tools that can help people with their finances. I'll say this, a lot of churches have prayer chains, like people can call in and need to get prayed for. And I've been around that a little bit. And almost every need that gets on there, 98% of the prayer needs, maybe 95%, are for health problems. Okay, so-and-so is in the hospital with this, and so-and-so has this problem. And could you pray for them? And then about the other 2% is money. Okay, because people need money. And it kind of cracks me up a little bit because, we have a solution on both of those. God ultimately holds all the power and all that on our health and so on, but he gives us these great tools to help people. And our own family got in this business, Kendra, can you believe 54 years ago? 54 years. Because of two of the members of our family praying for health needs, my great aunt and my grandmother, because my great aunt had a horrific health problem that all the doctors said there's no chance it can get well. And through these products, it got well. And then her sister, who was my grandmother, had a husband who was forced into retirement at age 52 on not partial, but total disability, could not even stay alive without drugs to dilate his lungs. He had not just one, but two incurable diseases. And we don't tell people we can get him over diseases. And that was the farthest thing from his mind because the doctors had said, you can't get over emphysema or Parkinson's. You can't. So that was the farthest thing. He only got on the product to try to maintain what little health he had left. And he starts getting stronger and more vibrant and more energetic. And where he's at 52, he couldn't even work anymore, totally trashed health. Then he gets on the products when he turns 67, 15 years later on meds, all that time. He dies at 93. He could run a rototiller the day he died. I mean, that's vibrant because the rototiller is shaky like crazy. Got to stay home till the last day, no assisted living, nothing. I mean, it's just amazing, you guys, the tool we have. Got every element that we want. We can help them financially, physically, community, loving family. So guys, let's give Kendra one more round of applause and thanks, and then we'll get close with recognition.
Thank you, Kendra.
Thank you, Kendra.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Kendra. We can't wait to have you on again. It's so wonderful having you. Thank you so much.